Get ready with me as I tell you my top culture shocks when I moved to US here 15 years ago that still shock me to this day. For those who don't know my story, I moved from Albania to USA because I chase love. Like, I literally have a fairy tale, but that's like for a different story because it's long and it's really entertaining. I probably should start in a movie, but let's dive in. The first culture shock I had of USA is how, other than the cities like Chicago, Boston, Manhattan, USA compared to European in general looks like a big farm. For Europeans who we are used to luxury, we're used to like beautiful, nice cafe. Like you're rich when you go to a restaurant and cafe and how people dress. When I moved to USA, I literally thought people here were so poor based on how things looked, how stores looked. Second thing, which it shocks me to this day because I kind of like fall for it, is how addicted to sugar the society is here. When I started like I would go like for a coffee and they'll be like, hey, like, do you want sugar? And I'll be like, yes. I don't know if the sugar is different here or what the issue is, but everything from sugar, from desserts, from snacks tastes so much more sweeter. From the drinks, from the juices. For a European or Albanian who I'm not used to so much sugar, I couldn't deal with it. Like, I couldn't enjoy. So I basically didn't drink any sodas. I would not go to coffees, or if I would go to a coffee place, I would ask them, please don't put any sugar. Because even the milk here, like whole milk, it just tastes so much sweeter. And that literally 15 years later made me addicted to sugar. Like now I have to eat something sweet every day. Like I cannot pass by the day without eating something sweet, even if it's like a small snack, small piece of bar chocolate, or at least fruit. Number three is how big the portions are. When I went to order a medium coffee, or you know when you get those like a Cumberland or Dunkin' Donuts, you get like this large iced coffee, or just even regular coffee is so big. I was shocked at how big the portions were. Like in Europe, like we'll have like a small espresso, sometimes with no milk, we'll get it and move on. But the amount of how big the sizes and portion, even like when you go to a restaurant, you have such a big portion here in general. I'm not talking about the super fancy restaurant where you're basically starving, but like the regular restaurants where you eat lunch there and then you have another like leftover for maybe tomorrow to eat for lunch. That's how much food. And in a way, I know it's like, oh, you don't have to eat it, but it's psychological. You just assume that amount of food is normal. Whereas in Europe, we eat very smaller portions and we eat like maybe 3 times a day and that's it. And there's no snacking. Like snacking, even the word snack doesn't exist in Albania. And here, everything is a snack this, snack before lunch. Surprisingly, in general, the American culture is so much more social. You assume that when you meet an American, they're going to be cold because, you know, they don't know you, but they're so friendly, so social. But it doesn't go further than that. I feel Americans in general, the culture, I'm not talking about like people that maybe moved here a few years ago, but people that are, you know, they're literally Americanized, they have a wall. You cannot pass that. You don't know much about their life. They never share your problems, which in Albania, literally, this is how we build bonds, is sharing all our problems, who's sicker, who has it hardest, and this is how we bond as a culture. But in America, they look so social, but yet they have a wall. They'll never invite you over to their house. I mean, in general, I'm not talking about like neighbors. Like I have a great relationship with my neighbors. We go to each other's house all the time. But in general, the culture, there's something but about them not getting deeper than just like, hi, how are you? And so friendly. No, you don't get deep at all. Like you don't know much what's going on in their life. You'll be shocked of how much you can learn from just speaking for 10 minutes with a stranger, like an Albanian stranger in the airport. You can literally learn their life story in 10 minutes. This video is getting too long, but if you like this, please follow, comment for part 2, and I'll make a part 2 because you will be shocked of the other things that I have to share.